Welcome to the recipe. I am your host, Red, and today is the day when we can finally talk about Nintendo's next generation hardware in an official capacity with an official name finally. Now, we've been calling the Switch 2 for years, Super Nintendo Switch. What will it be? Nintendo something new? Switch 2 was the one, which most people thought. Nintendo has decided to go 100% down the safe route with this console. They didn't want no, misconceptions or any confusions. They didn't want a Wii U situation, so they just stuck with 2. So that's very clear. This is a new thing. It's 2. Now, I want to go from positives to negatives with this reveal. You're seeing the hardware right now on the screen. This was the trailer that they put out. So yeah, I want to focus on the positives first and then get into my negatives. Now, if you listen to my previous podcast, you would basically already know a lot of my negatives and how I feel, for the simple fact that everything that was said in the rumors, everything that was shown off from rumors, leaked images and everything, 100% official. So we've known about the Nintendo Switch 2 for over a year, really. Let's be genuinely honest. We knew about magnets like in 2023. So 2024, we knew all of this stuff. You saw the little mouse section right there. That was already leaked. So, yeah, a lot of this stuff was leaked. So if you listen to my previous stuff, you already know where my feelings are at. I just wanted to mention that real quick. Now let's get into it and these positives. So, look, this might sound like a negative, but I need to mention the negative to get to the positive. I don't like the name Switch 2 because Nintendo just adding a number isn't really Nintendo. They've never done that. So me personally, I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. You know what I'm saying? I think the name is the right name for the hardware that they're making. The most successful hardware they've ever made. This is the next one. Let's not mess this up. Let's not confuse a single soul. So let's just go with 2. And for that I'm gonna put it in the positive because it is a positive. Even if, for me personally, I'm not gonna take my personal thing and then apply to this whole thing because it's just a naming thing. It's not something crazy. So yeah, there's a lot that I want to talk about. I'm trying not to jump ahead because I'm looking at this and these little ending points right here. There's things that I want to focus on, but yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so oh man, so this trailer comes out of nowhere. Even the rumors of the release date were correct. You know what I'm saying? So that's hilarious. Like every single thing that was rumored turned out to be basically true. And because of that, it kind of took you know, the excitement away from this reveal. But overall, I'll just say this. I like that you have, 2 charging slots now, basically in the bottom and the top, you got USB-C. So it's not like, the bottom charge is only in dock state, right? It's also, you can play it in handheld so you can still charge it whatever's comfortable. You got your headphone jack there, you got your volume buttons. If you notice, the C button isn't there, right? It's like covered. Maybe they're gonna reveal that when they reveal the games because that's something that's very much married to the software. So they're like, you know what, let's just keep that blank for now, even though they know what it is because it all leaked out. So I'm assuming that's still gonna be a C button, right? But it's not here. You can see that it's not shown off. Now, I've seen people worried about, I'll say this about the Joy Cons. All right, so I've seen multiple people worried about the fact that you have the little, piece that pops out that you have to basically snap them into that little piece right there. You see what I'm saying? And people feel like, oh, that piece could break off. Well, they're very clear that this is not a slide anymore. They switched that. You don't slide down, because yeah, if you do that, you're gonna just break the whole damn thing. Now they snap on, right? We could call that a snap more than, yeah, it's not a slide, it's a snap. So now they snap on. So I don't really think that it's going to be an issue, and I don't think that thing is going to be made flimsy. That's going to be the strongest thing on the hardware because Nintendo knows those are going to be pulled apart and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, click, 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 a million times. I'm sure they got a robot that's literally doing that, taking them off and putting them back a million times to see, if it'll break or whatever. Like even like clashing into it. So, you put it on the Joy-Cons, let's say in the dark or something, and you're hitting that thing, it's not just going to flimsily break. I don't believe that at all. I think I think it's going to be strong. Strong. So when it comes to that, I think we're good. Clearly, you can see that the Joy-Cons have also an add-on attachment that supports the moving it around like a mouse and keyboard. Now, like I said, I don't like mouse. Like I don't use mouse on PC. Like I'm playing Spider-Man right now on PC with an Xbox controller. You know what I'm saying? Everything else I played previously on PC was with a Wii U Pro controller. So I never used the mouse ever for any game. Only one was Doom, the original, when it came out back in the day. What was it, 92 or something, 91? So yeah, I don't like mouse and keyboard. I don't use a mouse and keyboard. I use literally a touch, wireless like Logitech touch panel keyboard. I do not use mouse ever. I literally can't stand them. So this feature for me is not something that I'm really interested in, but that's okay because I don't know how many games are actually going to use that feature. You know, you would hope it'd be a lot more than, the IR sensor that you can see right there, still there. So things like Labo, and I'll jump to that real quick. Like, and at the end of the trailer, it says like, but fully backwards compatible, except for a few games. The few games are going to be stuff like Labo because the cardboard isn't going to fit these big Joy Cons, the bigger screen. So those certain specific software just isn't going to work. Now, yeah, you see the add-on attachment there, so that I guess it could slide better like a mouse. That's cool. And I'm thinking that's all going to come packed in, just like the controller grip came packed in with the original Switch. They show it here at the end of the trailer, so that'll be there too. Um, the color, I mean, it's black, it's sleek. Yeah, you got the little highlight of the old Switch there with the orange and the blue, which is nice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're gonna come out with other colors like day one. I mean, like oh, there's a white one or something like that. I don't know. I really do think that they should have this one, and then they should have one that the Joy Cons are fully blue and are fully orange. Just a full throwback to the original Switch. But I get that they don't want it to look at all like the Switch One, even though it does look like the Switch One in many ways. It just looks like a bit sleeker, and obviously bigger. But you see them side by side right there. It just looks like a Pro console. I mean, that's technically what it is. I mean, and this is not me throwing shade. It just is what it is. Just a stronger Switch. No different from PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 4 or 5, just being stronger PlayStation. That's why if you want to count the Pros as the next numbered console, you can, because what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? It's just power jumps. And that's what this is, So it having the two moniker there, it's fine. And look, if this isn't a success, if it flops, they'll just move on and make something new with a whole new name. And I said this also. I said this before in one of my many rants about the naming of it all. I said, if this is what the Switch is going to be, I wouldn't even be surprised within the next 5 years they release other hardware. And I said this before, and I mentioned it again because I still feel like that. And people are like, "What do you mean? Like that's good?" Like I'm just saying, like, I don't know if we're gonna sit with this for 8 years. Look, it's 2025, right? So keep in mind that this trailer was 1080p, you know, and it's 2025. So I don't know how long we are gonna sit with this, but I feel like that's getting more into the negatives and the positives right there. The analog stick, I'm like, they showed that, and one could hope, okay, no dust will get in there. It's more covered up, so hopefully it'll prevent drifting and things like that. I hope that they went with the Hall effect sticks for the simple fact that they're better. But if they didn't and just put a cover so that dust won't get in, that's kind of lame because I feel like dust will still get in. Look, I never had stick drift like crazy until this generation. I got stick drift with Xbox controllers. I got stick drift with Nintendo controllers and never did previously. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there was something worse than stick drift back then when with the 64 controller. That analog stick sometimes got so flimsy it couldn't even stay sending no more. It would just fall apart, and then you needed a new controller. So there's been worse sticks. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, we don't really know, right? What else? Positives. I'm trying to get into all the positives real quick. Uh, I look at the console. I'm like, it's bigger. I don't know if that's a positive for a lot of people, but some people might prefer the smaller. And who's to say that they won't come out with a Switch 2 Lite, that's just a handheld. And so that'll be perfect for you if you want a smaller, handheld. You just have to wait a little bit, but I'm sure there'll be an OLED one day. This looks like it's an LCD. Uh, but yeah, size, for me personally, I think the bigger size is better, even though I have no intention of using it in handheld mode ever, like ever. So to me, it's going to be a home console in the same way the Switch One was. But still, holding it in handheld mode whenever I do decide is going to be more comfortable for a person with big hands. So yeah, I think that's nice. Um, Obviously, overall, it looks sleeker. The analog sticks look way better than the Switch ones, even though they look the same. It's slightly different. And I guess that's all you can say that about this whole thing, right? It's the same, but slightly different. Yeah. So when it comes to positives, I think I'm done. I really do. You know. Now I'm gonna get into these negatives, and I'll just say this before I get into it. I'm a Nintendo fan, y'all. All right, remember that. I'm a Nintendo fan. I've been there since the NES on all the hardware. I am a Nintendo fan, so don't think, oh, you just hate it. Like, nah, I'm just gonna tell y'all my actual negatives now. Okay, so let's get into it. This thing leaked, right? And I said this months ago. If that's the real thing, what are y'all waiting for? Just reveal it. Basically, just show the hardware. Because if they don't have software to leak, cool. But just show off the hardware so you get in front of it. It's no different than when you put out a promotional picture of a superhero in his costume that looks nice before they see the undone, maybe, parts are only on the actor, the rest is going to be CGI, you know what I mean? So they put out a professional picture, done. This is what you're going to see in the final product. And then when leaks start coming out, people say, oh yeah, but we saw what he looks like, so we're not worried about, Black Panther sliding down the building but looking really goofy. And it was like, yeah, because it's a stunt double. He had a bunch of padding, but we already had a picture out. It's no different than, anything, any movie now. Superhero movies, they learn their lessons with that, right? So you just get in front of the leaked on set pictures from people, just basically scheming on the set trying to get some pictures of whatever they can. I think Nintendo should have did that because they waited so long. Everything, even the mouse feature thing leaked out. If they would have just announced it in December, if they would have put out this same trailer in December, what would have been the difference? Like, would it have hurt? You know what I'm saying? More that the actual reveal is on April 2nd? Yeah. Because when I watched this today and I saw April 2nd, I was like, April 2nd? April 2nd. And I know it's April 2nd. It ain't February. February 4th. It's going to be April 2nd. They're going to make us sit 3 months with information that we've already had for over a year. That's wild. That's a bold choice. Now, the question is, between today and that April review, are publishers and developers allowed to say this is coming, this is coming, this is coming? Or are you going to tell everyone to be quiet, relax, we'll reveal stuff at the review? Which I don't disagree with that, because it's like, that's the big reveal. This was just okay, it's real, it exists. You don't got to speculate no more. Even though we knew it was real, we knew it existed because we knew we was going to get the reveal before March. Here it is. They didn't lie, but I will say this. I do think this is the worst reveal I've seen for a major console manufacturer. Like, because I think about it, like I think about the most recent ones. And I remember, like, let's say, like the Series X at the Game Awards, right? It wasn't much. They showed the hardware. You saw the tower. Okay, new design. That looks nice. Then they showed Hellblade. And it showed the potential of what a game could look like. Now the game came out and we played it, and it looked like that. It was a drastic leap from the previous generation. Generational jump. That's just what it was. So that was fine, right? For a little teaser. Got it. This is that, but there's no voiceover. There's no nothing. They show analog sticks, but they don't point and say, no drift or Hall effect. They don't tell you whether HD rumble. They show the mouse light thing. They don't say mouse. They don't say nothing. They just show you stuff. And that's why I felt like if you was going to do this bland reveal, you could have did it last year, and all those leakers wouldn't have the merit that they have now. You get what I'm saying? Like, you build something, Nintendo. And listen, it's not your fault, but it is. At the same time, I mean, who else we going to blame? It ain't our fault. I'm not the one who leaked it. And none of us who were eating up all the leaks, we not the ones who did it. The leakers did it, right? But you could have jumped out in front of it. And you let them get all this clout and reveal the full hardware. They revealed it. You didn't. This wasn't the reveal of the Switch. The Switch was revealed throughout the leaks. That's not an opinion. That is the facts. We've all saw it like that. And then you did that, which gave them clout. So now throughout the whole next generation, whenever these leakers, whoever they are, oh, this person got the date, right? Whenever they say something now, even if they're completely wrong, people are gonna say, well, yeah, he got this right. They got all that right. Well, how you know it ain't true? So that is slightly a negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not just for Nintendo, just for the industry as a whole. I'm looking at it as an industry with leaks and shit. Like, that's bad. Like, that's genuinely bad. And that's not to say, listen, we had leaks for PlayStation. We had leaks for. My point is just the leak shit is out of hand. This is not an exclusive Nintendo thing. It's bad for everyone. I'm saying now these guys got full blown, undebatable solid clout. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And that's scary. And if you don't see the reason why that's scary, trust me, Nintendo does. Xbox does and PlayStation does. You know what I'm saying? They definitely do. Um, but yeah, so I like there was no information really given here about the hardware. When I see Switch 2, remember, I think the Switch body of software is phenomenal. I've said that a lot of times. But I've always said the hardware I've always thought was eh. As a hybrid, awesome. But after you got past that, and if you're not using it in that hybrid state, all of that, it's like, eh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see the Pro controller because that's the controller I'm going to use. Like, that's just, so it's like I look at it and I go, like, there's really nothing exciting about this hardware because I already knew. And I've said this in the previous last two episodes. I said, it's all about the games. I want to see games. And then what they showed here was Mario Kart, right? And then it looks like Mario Kart Deluxe. Now, I instantly noticed the art style change. I'm a Nintendo fan, and Mario's my favorite IP. I see the wonder-ish touch to the character models, and then they did what I was saying that I wanted to happen. I said, I want Nintendo to retire Donkey Kong by Rare model, and I want them to make that Mario movie Donkey Kong model our game model for the next, Mario Donkey Kong game that I've been saying I want to happen, or Donkey Kong by the Mario Odyssey team. And I said I want that character model, the real big, like, what do you call that? Like his snout, like, the big mouth area, the little beady eyes, and they did that. So I'm super hype about that. But the game looks like Mario Kart 8, and we've had Mario Kart 8 for years. So you chose that to show this, and then the video. First thing I did when I clicked this video was check to see if it was 4K, so I could get happy, and it wasn't. So I immediately got disappointed. 2025, we got a HD 1080p Nintendo console in 20, what was that, 13, 12, right? When the Wii U came out? 12, I want to say. And then we got another 1080p console in 2017. And that was 2025. Everybody, the adoption rate of 4K TVs is through the roof. You're not buying a TV in the last 5 years that wasn't 4K, basically. And if this wasn't 4K, and you would have saw HDR on a Nintendo game for the first time, it would have hit different, even though it was Mario Kart. But that looks so much like Mario Kart 8. I've even seen people question, like, is that Mario Kart Deluxe again? Da, da, da. And I'm like, no, clearly it's a new track, new character models, it's a new game. It even looks like it's going to have costumes, which I said it would because what they did with Mario Kart Tour, that's going to, transfer to the next game. And yeah, so you got Peach, on a bike with her dress, but you'll probably still be able to get her, her her Peach motorcycle gear and all that. So different costumes, that'll be fun. How they monetize that will be interesting, because they will. Hell, the price of this thing, who knows what it's gonna be. I'm gonna lean towards $399. I would hope that's the price, but nowadays inflation, all this craziness, who knows? Uh, yeah, but I would have really loved it. I mean, I don't know. Like, it could be 4K, and we just don't know yet. You know. But I would assume that it's not because I think the trailer would have been 4K. You want to put your best foot forward, and that's disappointing to me. I said that shit already. Like, I know there's a lot of people who like to pretend. Listen, during the Wii days, there was people who try to pretend, and Wii was my number one console, right? I had a 360, I had a PlayStation, but Wii was my number one console, and there was so much people who try to play down HD just because Nintendo didn't have it, and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, this looks so clean. It's insane. Like, when you look at HD. Like, I wish Mario Galaxy was in HD. And then what happened? We spent the whole generation looking at people upload footage and screenshots of, oh, look at Mario and look at Metroid and look at this running on Dolphin in HD. And now people pushing their games to 4K using Dolphin and things like that. Or like using PCs and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I get that. But I'm not doing all that. All that Dolphin nonsense. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I got a super capable PC. I just don't do none of that. I don't emulate games. I don't do none of that. Never did. I don't think I ever will. So I don't know. Like, I just look at it and I go, you want to make everything bigger, right? The Joy-Cons bigger, the console bigger, the power's gonna be stronger. Adopt the current resolutions. Why would you want to be behind for another decade on resolution? And 1080p is not good enough. People say that are blatant liars who don't know what they're talking about. And 2K is not good enough either. 1440p looks drastically worse than 4K. Understand, 4K is 4 screens as one. All right, so there's no world where the scope of 2 screens or just 1080p, which is 1 screen, and when we're talking in terms of 4K, like is the equivalent. It's not. And anybody who's saying that, it just doesn't consume everything 4K. Like I consume everything in 4K basically, for years already. Like if I'm watching a movie, it's in 4K. It's a 4K Blu-ray or 4K on Fandango at home. Like I'm playing games in 4K, whether it's on my PC or on my Series S or whatever. And it's like I want to see these Nintendo games with these beautiful art styles with HDR. Nintendo games are all about the color. HDR literally spreads color out beautifully. I love HDR. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point too, even with my girl who ain't into all of that stuff, she can see the difference and be like, oh yeah, that's crazy. Like the colors is just so drab. Like when it's not in 4K, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, like that, all that, the clean image quality and then the way the colors pop, that would have made Nintendo games sing. And I don't know. Again, that can happen on the second. It could be 4K. We don't know. But if I had to guess right now, I'm going to sit in disappointment. And this is the thing. A lot of the stuff is like you got to sit and just wait 3 months now. Narratives could be made in the next 3 months. Rumors could come out. And these rumors that come out are going to have validity based off all the previous rumors that were true. You see what I'm saying? So now Nintendo just opened the floor for all these guys. Because think about it. We've talked about Nintendo Switch 2 for a year. Based off this video, and this is real talk, based off this video right here, there's nothing new to talk about. Let's be real. We've talked about mouse. We talked about magnets. There is literally not one piece of new information here for us to discuss, except software, which I said is what we need now. Right? So when there's no new information on the hardware, and then you tell people, all right, wait 3 months to get the stuff that you actually care for, what will make you excited about this same old hardware, this two of a hardware, games, yeah, you got to wait. So now all these guys who got to still make content and everything, what do you think they're going to do? Next, now they're going to start games. So if games start leaking out, let's say, again, I don't know who to blame for this. Like, who you blame for this? Other than it's like Nintendo, you chose to do this. And then here's the other thing. You're gonna do this in April. Does this thing come out in the summer or does it come out in the fall? Because if it's following the old, come out November 19th around that time, launch with Mario Kart. Yeah, it's gonna do well, but I don't know how well. Because I've always said the thing that worked with the Switch was the tight release schedule. It was like, here it is. That first initial trailer, which was way better than this one, showing the concept, people, rooftop parties, showing Odyssey in there. You saw Zelda in there. You saw Skyrim. You saw some stuff. You saw some games that showed, okay, yeah, this hardware is capable. Right now, for the average customer who sees this, I believe that they would still question, like, okay, it's two. But, like, is that like the new Switch or is it like just, is that a new Mario Kart? Like, I think they would based off that first impression. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't think that was the best thing to show off. Right now. And it's not that was like the bad thing to show. I just feel like maybe you should have showed more. Maybe showed games that are coming out this year, like Assassin's Creed. Show that. Show I just think, and I know, and look, and I'm not like some Assassin's Creed fan. I'm just saying, you show off the new games on the hardware. People say, "Oh yeah, it's a leap, it's a jump," and all that. Because Assassin's Creed, it's a very, capable game. Like it's a game that's trying to make these new pieces of hardware that we bought new. The current hardware that we got, making it sing. Right? It's trying to really utilize the power. So seeing a game like that on here would have been cool. Alongside Mario, just a little flashes and everything. Basically, every shot that the screen was shown here, that you see the screen, they should have had something on instead of just having a black screen. Because you could have teased April like that. Because then, if right there when it was upside down, let's say it was upside down, and you saw 3D Mario, it was like, oh, we got an upside down picture. Somebody would have took that, flipped it around, zoomed in, would have gave us more to actually talk about. Right now, there's not much to talk about. So now we're gonna have 3 months of people just reiterating the same points because we got no new details here at all. Even this trailer, like the trailer that company made, showing their peripherals was basically exactly like this. That's why it's like I feel like, yeah, this is one of the worst reveals, and it's due to all the leaks. And that's why I say I hate leaks. I know a lot of people like it; it's fun, but I hate it because this would have hit a lot better if we didn't know none of that stuff. And now that's what I want to do. I'm trying to look at this now, right? Because I'm probably have more negatives, positives, but I'm actually gonna try to look at this like, what if we saw this and we didn't know any of the leaks? How would this have hit? Right? So I'm really looking at this now in that mindset. I mean, we got the OLED, right? I I don't have an OLED. I have my original model. So it being bigger and stuff like that, I guess that the people who have OLED, they showed it go from the old Switch to this Switch 2. But the OLED people, that's the middle, you know what I mean? Like Switch 1.5. Like you got PlayStation Pro right now, that's PlayStation 5, point 5 until PlayStation 6. Like, eh. I think the April, I think they should have like, yo, Mario turns what 40 this year. You gonna let Mario Day go by and not do nothing? That's why I question, like, are they gonna tease stuff up till April? Because I know there's like a Pokemon Direct coming at the end of the month, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not gonna feature no games that are for the next hardware. And I'm like, now we know Switch 2, right? And it's like, okay, fine, you know? But now I'm like, do you allow people, that's the thing, do you allow people to reveal stuff, or do you just leave us with this and now we just wait 3 months? 2.5 months, 3 months, bro. At this point, like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm not like disappointed. No, I just want to see games. Like, this shit ain't nothing. Like, look, Nintendo hardware used to be very special in the sense that you needed to see what the hardware was to know how you was gonna play your games. This is the same shit. Like, at this point, I'm like, your Joy Cons better work with this hardware. There's no excuse for it not to. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if the game is 100% uses the mouse feature, which no game is going to 100% use that feature unless it's something dedicated like Labo. There's not going to be, oh yeah, Metroid Prime only plays like that. That's just not going to happen. You and I both know that. So I look at and I go, man, that just made me think. Like, you have Metroid Prime. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. Metroid Prime. See, I should have never said Metroid. Metroid. Once I say Metroid, I start. Yo, so yeah, it could use that. It could use gyroscopic controls. It could use the analog stick. But yeah, like I was saying, this isn't special. Like, oh, yo, this is gonna change the way we play our games. Clearly, it's not that. It's iterative, right? So it makes it the most boring reveal because of that too. Where it's like, oh, it's nothing special here, nothing new. There's nothing for us to theorize how we're gonna play our games. Mouse and keyboard isn't nothing new. I just mentioned the last time I played mouse and keyboard was in the early '90s, so clearly nothing new. Uh, so, and it's weird, right? Because it's like you still do all this stuff, but don't do the pointer, and you have a body of work, a whole generation full of games that use Wii remote and pointer, and it's like you could have brought that back, but y'all chose mouse and keyboard, and it's like, well, mouse, it's weird, but again, I want to wait and see, But that's the thing with this; it's all about the games. The hardware isn't special, so that's why I feel like your Pro controller, your Joy Cons, everything should work. And I'll go even further. And I know this part is the part people get mad. People are like, I'm unsubscribed from this guy. Like, it's like, yo, I'm just speaking. I'm just being honest, genuine thoughts, right? We're in this open era now. Right? I expect to see Call of Duty on this 10-year deal. I expect to see Doom the Dark Ages on this just because Doom has been on Nintendo hardware a ton, right? That's awesome. Right? I expect to see great support on this hardware. And man, I'm really trying to like make this point perfectly clear. I'm playing right. Hell, I'm playing both. I'm 80% on Spider-Man One. I was like, oh, I'm only play the opening of Miles Morales, right? Because I ended up buying that because I said I'm gonna buy Miles Morales after I beat one. I buy Miles Morales before that. I said, I'm gonna just play the opening because I already played it, previously, or I played the opening of Miles Morales, and I mentioned this before on PlayStation 5, you know, on my brother's PlayStation 5. I just played the intro, so I said I'm gonna just play the intro again, and I played a little bit more than just the intro, right? But my point is, I play these games, and I don't need a PlayStation 5. I would never get a PlayStation console because I really don't like PlayStation how they do things. but I get to play these games. I'm excited to play Naughty Dog's next game for sure, because that whole thing, I loved everything in that trailer. So I know I'm gonna have to wait a little bit, but I could play that on PC. Right. Hellblade, I played 25% on Xbox, and then I played the other 25%. I mean, still Xbox, but Xbox through the PC app, you know. So I played it on PC. The rest of it, 60 frames per second and all that. Now, Mario Kart, the last Mario Kart game wasn't Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it wasn't even a booster course pass, because I think after the last booster course pass dropped, Mario Kart Tour still was getting content. So technically, that was still the last Mario Kart game. Even if, I mean, when you talk about last release new content, Mario Kart Tour, and that's not on any hardware. It's on mobile phones. It's not on Nintendo hardware, right? It's on mobile phones. So Nintendo, like PlayStation and Xbox, has already expanded. If you're gonna do iterative stuff like this, at this point, I say either make your own storefront or put your stuff on PC. And I'm not just saying this because I play on PC and stuff like that. No, 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 no. Or because I want Nintendo games at the highest fidelity. Yeah, that's true. But no, it's not even that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's inevitable, and I've been saying this for years. But understand, like for people listening to this who never listen to it, all the stuff Xbox is doing right now, I said they would, like, literally from the TV, all that. I said in 2017. That's just a fact. I have the podcast that I could pull up where I literally describe the Xbox of the future, and it's exactly this, right? Hell, I even described many times that Nintendo would probably go the safe route with their next hardware and just do a 2, which would disappoint me, but hey, they'll do it, and that's what they did, right? So I call things a lot of the times. So yeah, it is inevitable because PC gaming is making a lot of money now more than ever. I told you, most of the kids, and my family, so I'm talking about nieces, nephews, everybody, right? All of them went the PC route. And that blew my mind, right? They all went the PC route. They said, yeah, they went the PC. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, none of y'all got systems. Oh, no, I got a Switch, but but I mostly play PC. And I'm like, that's crazy, right? And I've seen that more and more. And you see the way games sell on PC. And you see why Square Enix is like, yeah, we got to get these things on PC. You know what I'm saying? You see why Microsoft is like, we got to spread our games across. We're trying to make this money, right? Sony's doing the same thing. Even though a lot of PlayStation fans like to pretend like that's not the case, it is. There aren't exclusives. Only ones making exclusives is Nintendo. Yo, the fact that the Joy-Cons just snapped in right there like that is crazy. Because that means that little grip has to leave space for them to snap in. If you think about it, that's weird. But that's cool. That's smart design. Um, but yeah, like, I would say in this generation, either they're gonna drop new hardware or they're gonna start putting their games on PC too. And I know that's crazy, and I know people always like to think, oh, Nintendo would never. And I'm like, y'all keep forgetting that they got their stuff on mobile too a lot. Remember that there was years in between Mario Kart Tour's announcement, then they went quiet, and then 2 years later that game came out. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember they announced that with Zelda. Remember that? A lot of people don't. But they announced Zelda for mobile. So I expect Zelda to come out for mobile. I think the wait is just going to take long. And I think they want that probably around when the movie comes out. So the zeitgeist and all that. But yeah, so you're going to get a Zelda game on mobile. You got Mario Kart on mobile. You got Animal Crossing, not man, Fire Emblem, right? Stuff like that. So it's just like them expanding beyond. It's like, yeah, if you're going to just do standard controller, two analog stick, diamond face button, D-pad, 4 shoulder buttons, then yeah, why even limit yourself? I think there's no reason to. And I know gamers hate that because of their console nonsense, but I don't care about console wars. I just care about the reality of the gaming space we in. I'm not in, the early 2000s and 90s where it's like exclusive. Yeah, that's not a real thing. It's only real with Nintendo. That's it. Nobody else has exclusives. Stop lying. You know what I'm saying? So stop doing this console. Yeah, we selling all these consoles. So what? So who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, like, the PlayStation guys who always want to do that to console war with the Xbox guys. Who cares? You selling all that hardware, and most of the games you selling are Xbox games. So who's really making all the money? Like, it's a stupid narrative. Like, because these guys were smart enough to be like, you know what? Why would we just leave this here? So let's put this here. Let's put this over there. Let's put it everywhere. People can't go. What do I need the hardware? Who cares? You don't want to own the Xbox because we play Xbox games over there and overlook everything that this ecosystem brings, which is better than everything. Fine, go. And you're still giving them the money. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it. I'm not telling Nintendo to put their games on PlayStation. I'm not telling them to put their games on Xbox. Nah. I'm telling them to do the same thing PlayStation doing. Just put your games on PC too. Why? Because why not? People who want it there, they could get it there, and we could still use these controllers. I could connect my Pro controller and play Spider-Man if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I just do the Xbox one because it's easier. You know, you just double tap the damn sync button and switches to PC. Double tap the sync button, switches back to my series. So it's just convenient. And by the way, that's the only controller, you know, on the planet that has that tech that does that. Just saying, there's a lot of new tech in that controller. People just don't like to mention it. Yeah. So look, I look like this. I feel like we've gotten nowhere. You know what I mean? Like we need these games, man, because that's when the excitement is gonna happen. I know this doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but I don't want to pretend either, and I don't want to fake and oversell things that it's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. You know, like I'm just giving you my genuine, you know, opinion. And listen, I've seen multiple reactions already where I'm like, the disappointment is clearly seeping through, you know, the video, but you're pretending that you're not that disappointed. It's funny. It's like, bro, we Nintendo fans, all right? With a lot of things, we're a lot alike, a lot, and it's like if on big brushstroke announcements, I feel like if I'm not excited, then you're not either because we're both the same Nintendo fans when it comes to the big brushstroke thing. Like if they show new 3D Mario, we're gonna go crazy. New Mario Kart, yeah, we're excited. I'm excited. I don't think it was the best showing of it, but this wasn't the real showing of it. This wasn't the name. This was nothing. This was that first Switch video when you saw Odyssey and you didn't know nothing. This is nothing. Like we didn't see, and that's what I mean. Like yeah, I'm excited. It's new hardware. Where we gonna play these games? But this isn't really exciting because it was leaked already, and the game shown here is not exciting because we didn't see what makes this Mario Kart special. Underwater, gliding, anything, you know, double dash like modes, jumping, kicking somebody off their car, jumping into their car. We don't know what they're gonna do. What is this drive-through area right here? You know, it has like this gold item there. Is that the new thing, the new hook, the new thing that makes this different from Mario Kart? They didn't show us none of that, but it's gonna be there, of course. You know, and I'm excited for that. But I'm excited for April now. And April is basically like the E3 of this year. So it's cool. I got, you know, this month Xbox show. We're gonna get brand new Doom, brand new South of Midnight, Expedition, brand new games and all that. Excited for that. And then we have you know, this in April. So that's exciting. Because I know, yeah, that day we're gonna see Metroid, we're gonna see a lot of new games, you know, and that's gonna be super excited. So I'm like on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited I am for the April show? 10 out of 10. That's the thing. 11 out of 10. You know, that's the next generation reveal for me there. The next generation games. Because when it comes to the hardware, that was revealed already through leaks. So yeah, this wasn't really that exciting for me personally. And I don't think it was that exciting for any of us. And I think anybody faking super excitement is like, yeah, you are just faking it. Because it's like, you knew this already. This is nothing new. We knew yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days. We knew a week ago. We've seen it. We've looked at it. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. I think you can be excited, like, yeah, I'm excited. It's finally revealed. Yay. That's it. I think the kickstand is nice too, by the way. I think it looks very nice. It doesn't look flimsy at all. Now, here's the question. Let me throw this back real quick. When the Joy-Cons get bigger, do the buttons get bigger? Nah. Oh, no, they do. They do. They do. I have to really, really look. You see it more. You see it more with the D-pad. Look at the D-pad. Yeah, they got bigger. That's nice. And I love the switch buttons because they quiet. Yo, the Xbox controller, oh my God. Oh my God. You know I know it's bad. My girl the other day, she was like, yo, I never noticed how fucking loud that controller is. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, when they ain't no white noise, like, you know, AC, fan, or TV on or anything, and I'm just browsing online and clicking, click, click. I mean, yo, this controller is dumb loud. I hate that about it. Like with a passion. I love the controller. No, I don't love the controller because I've been through too many Xbox controllers. They got too much drift issues. But I mean, you know, the comfort of it I love. But yeah, I don't like the loudness of it. They got to change that. I don't know what, like, they got to do whatever it is that Nintendo and PlayStation do. Because these series controller, and I noticed that day one, I was like, damn, this shit is loud. Like, Xbox One X wasn't like this. This is crazy. Yeah, but I like the buttons on this controller, and that's why I'm excited to see the Pro controller. Because I'm gonna be honest, to me the Pro controller is the best controller ever made. Era ergonomics, whatever you want to call it. You know, the flow of it, the way it feels in your hand, the actual mold of the controller. I like even better than the series controller. To me, the Switch Pro controller is the greatest standard controller ever made. You know, I love the center of it. It's so chunky because of the HD rumble and stuff. I love it. So I really am like excited for the new one. And I'm like, I want y'all to change stuff, but I don't want y'all to change too much, you know, because it's such a good controller. But yeah, that's why I'm excited for April 2nd. You know, so hopefully you enjoyed this. You know, I made this content fully fully drugged up on cold medicine right now. I'm so drowsy, man. I got a crazy flu right now, and I didn't want to wait. I was like, man, I'm gonna wait till Saturday. Like, I'm literally sweating up a storm right now. Yo, I'm dumb sick right now, like ridiculously sick. But I wanted to make this content, you know. I hope y'all appreciated it. I hope y'all enjoyed me being genuinely honest about my thoughts on this, and I'll just try to give y'all every angle, every little detail that I could think of. I'm sure there'll be more stuff that I'll think about, and we'll talk about it more throughout the months. But yeah, while I talked about my positives and my negatives here, know that I like, look, I got over the fact that it wasn't gonna be some revolutionary thing, new way to play. Oh, here's a Wii remote. Here's a 3D with no glasses. Here's two screens. Like, I accepted that. So yeah, for me now it's all about the games. Like, it's all about the games. Hardware wise, I'm not overly excited. And it being called Switch 2, I guess it's the final thing I'll say. The scary part of it being called Switch 2 is that it'll be too much like the Switch 1. In the sense of it being a soulless OS. I pray. I pray that it could switch to great. But it's not switched to in any way when it comes to the OS. I hope that there's sound. I hope that there's more features. I hope that there's a way to message friends, talk to friends, easily, invite friends to games. I just want them to, I just want more of good stuff like that. And I don't want it to be, oh, yeah, it's Switch 2, so you should expect it to be a very shallow, mundane, soulless OS. Like, I don't want that, so hopefully there's more to it. And again, we got to wait till April for that. April is so far away. I hate that it's so far away. I genuinely do. Like, that's such a negative to me. Like, why so long? We've been sitting on this information, but what can we do? That's the date. That's when it is. We got to wait. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it now. I'm just going to anticipate it. And that's good. It gives us time to save money, prepare for the hardware. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, I think that's important too. Like, getting your funds together. If it comes out later in the year, it gives you time to prepare, get enough budget for games, for a pro controller, things like that. So it's not, the worst thing in the world. Again, I could look at these things and I could see positives even where I see negatives. For a lot of things. But yeah, that's it. I think I don't really got much more that I can say about this thing, man. It's real though, it's real. It's genuinely here. Nintendo Switch 2. Hmm. That I'm just looking at the trailer now. It got bigger. Like, it's so wild that they focused on showing all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this all would have hit so good if these damn leakers didn't ruin it. That's why, listen, I've been making content about respecting the rollout. I made a whole podcast based on respecting the rollout about 3 years ago, right? It was around, maybe a little bit longer now. It was around the time when the series and the PlayStation was coming out. All the leaks and stuff. And I was just saying, like, respecting the rollout. Like, you don't know the time and the budget that they put into revealing these things to make it fun for us. So when leakers come out and ruin stuff, it takes a lot of the punch away. And it's like, can't get mad at Nintendo. I gotta get mad at these leakers. I mean, yeah, Nintendo, you could have just revealed it earlier. Like, yeah, true, but I also gotta get mad at the leakers because it's like, damn, bro. It's like, y'all just ruined the fun for everything. For what? For your 2 seconds of clout? That's it. You ruined something that this reveal was supposed to be like the first reveal of the new hardware, and this is something we're gonna remember for years and years. And what we're always gonna take away from this when we talk about it in the future is, oh yeah, it just confirmed the leaks. That's it. That's the most, you know. And that I don't know. Like, I don't want games to leak. I want everything now from here on to be. I want Nintendo to, yo, I don't know what they got to do, but yo, keep the OS, keep the game, keep that direct, all the details of it under wraps. Don't even show that direct to nobody, honestly. And your partners, yo, like, I don't know. Tell them, give us the footage. Just send us the footage you want showing, and yeah, we'll put it in our trailer. We ain't showing y'all nothing. Because y'all might see something, and all of a sudden, oh, yo, we saw Mario, and then the name of it leaks out. Oh, Mario, blah, blah, blah. It's like, don't do that. Seeing Mario Wonder there, I was like, yo, imagine Mario Wonder 2 already? It would be 2 years. I'll be excited. Like, I hate the wait between 2D Mario games. I love 2D Mario games, so I would love them to do that. But yeah, and there's a lot more. Look, I said I could keep going. You know what I'm saying? But I said, yo, that's enough. But I know I could keep going. Like, I would love to see like the backwards compatible games actually play better on the hardware, right? I know this is stuff I talked about before, but these are things that we're gonna see in April. These are things that we're gonna see in April at the actual reveal of Nintendo's next gen games. Yeah, games, man, next gen games. Can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Are like, to me, the most disappointing thing for me, honestly, because I didn't care about specs. Like, people always thought when I was saying I wanted 4K Nintendo, like 4K don't mean specs. 4K is a resolution. It's, oh yeah, but you need resolution. No, they got DLSS and all this bullshit. Like, these games don't even be 1080p on Switch One, but they're 1080p games. They're HD games. But some of them be sub HD. They be 540p, but they're still 1080p because that's what the system outputs. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the same thing. I wanted the system to output 4K. So if I go on YouTube, I could watch a 4K video. If I go on Disney Plus, you know what I'm saying, or Hulu, whatever the hell apps they got, you could watch a 4K Avatar, Way of Water, whatever like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's regular shit. So that's why I hope that it is. I hope it does turn out to be 4K. Like, that's my biggest disappointment. It's like, I just wanted 4K, and it wasn't about the game. People always assumed like it was, you want the games, the tech to be Series X level. No, it wasn't about Series X level. I want beautiful Nintendo games, whatever they gonna do, to look as good as they could possibly look on my TV. That means clearing up those jaggies and everything. And what will help with that? 4K. What year is it? 2025. When did 4K come out? Like a decade ago. I'm just saying. That means they're gonna, if they don't adopt 4K, they're gonna take, they remember they had a 480p console in the Wii. Nobody thought their next console wouldn't be 4K. I mean 1080p, 10 HD, and it was. So I was like, in no way do I believe the next Nintendo hardware isn't gonna support 4K. So if it doesn't, like, that's a super negative to me, like, for me personally. But I don't know if it is for you. It probably won't be for you. You know what I mean? But in the future, when you get into 4K and all that, then because I say if you don't play in 4K right now, then probably you won't care. But if you do play in 4K, yeah, you know. But yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap it up now. I don't want to go in circles, but let me know what got you the most excited for with this review, and what was the most disappointing thing for you, basically. Your most exciting thing, your most disappointing thing, and what game do you hope to see at the Nintendo Switch 2 proper reveal in April? For me, I'm gonna just say this: I hope Donkey Kong's model in Mario Kart is the sign of things to come. I hope that we do get a full blown platformer 3D Donkey Kong game, and I hope that that's Donkey Kong new model now across all media, because it's the best. It's no different what I said about Sonic. Like, Sonic movie models, I'm sorry, they crushed the games. They got it. I was like, yo, y'all got to make the game look like the movie now, because the movies they just look cuter and furry and pretty, like it's just like, you look at the game models now, Sonic, Knuckles, and them, and it's just like, ugh. Like, y'all so basic. It's like the 90s. Like, we moved on. Like, you look at 3D Mario renders now, they're completely different from the 90s. You know what I mean? And the games match that. And it's like Sonic now, the movie feel like it left the games behind. But that's why it's cool that they did the Shadow DLC to play with the actual movie model in the game. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, man, that's it. I'm going to stop now, for real, this time. I'm done. Thanks for tuning in, y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I probably will have another one up, on Patreon uh, on Saturday. So yeah, look out for that. And yeah, any questions, whatever y'all want to ask, just throw them in the comments on Patreon, YouTube, whatever. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. And I appreciate y'all who stood subscribed, even though, I spoke from the heart, man. Because I know a lot of times people, they hear, you know, opinions that aren't just what I want to hear, and they get upset. So, I know that's the way it goes usually, but I'm used to it. All right, I'm done. Until the next one. Peace.